When it comes to science fiction, there are only two words: forbidden planet. TNT boldly goes where no network has gone before. Back to the 50s and the science fiction movie that started it all, Forbidden Planet. I bet you thought I was gonna say Star Trek.
Our favorite space explorer, LaVar Burton, hosts a special letterbox showing of one of our favorite movies, Forbidden Planet.
You know, Forbidden Planet. This is gonna be something, you know. Sit down and watch this.
Our destination, Altair 4, is now visible on the main view plate. 20 years ago, the spacecraft LeVar landed here with a prospecting party of scientists. Our mission is to search for survivors. That is all.
The special effects were way ahead of their time. The absolute state of the art. The visuals in this film are great, and they did that transporter effect brilliantly. I was amazed to see, you know, how derivative most of the science fiction that we have today is. Most of it does go almost directly back to this movie.
United Planets cruiser C-57D, J.J. Adams commanding. Who are you?
Especially the parallels between this movie and the original Star Trek. That white male triumvirate, the captain, the doctor, the first officer, that's plucked directly from the power structure in the Forbidden Planet.
I'm sorry, sir, if we're not welcome, but we do have our orders.
But of course you must stay for lunch, gentlemen, and do forgive the ill manners of an old recluse.
The robot, he's the great, I guess, grandfather of Data. And that robot in Lost in Space. I mean, they didn't even get real creative in terms of creating a robot. They just went to the Forbidden Planet and sort of took notes and danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger. I mean, there he was.
Welcome to Altair 4, gentlemen. I am to transport you to the residence.
This is no offense, but you are a robot, aren't you?
That is correct, sir.
Commander Adams, more like Kirk or Picard. You know, that's interesting. At first I would have said more like Kirk, but as I think about it, I think he was probably a good mix of the two. Testosterone in a spacesuit, but sort of tempered with a real desire to be effective in the world.
The lieutenant and I were just trying to get a little healthy stimulation from hugging and kissing, that's all.
Well, it so happens that I'm in command of 18 competitively selected super perfect physical specimens with an average age of 24.6 who have been locked up in hyperspace for 378 days. It would have served you right if I hadn't, and he...
Anne Francis, probably the most famous mole in the business. Great hair, great smile. Very sultry, Anne Francis. Very, very seductive in a sort of 60s kind of cocktail sipping way.
I've always so terribly wanted to meet a young man, and now 3 of them at once.
That's very kind of you.
You're lovely, Doctor. Of course, the 2 end ones are unbelievable.
It's so hard to believe that a woman could grow up without any other influence, save that of her father, and still be this semi-balanced individual. I mean, when you really think of it, a girl who's in her teens and never seen a man outside of her father before, and her reaction to these, you know, these 3 space hunks that, you know, just sort of land on her front doorstep, it's really kind of naive.
You always look just beautiful.
Then why don't you kiss me like everybody else does?
Everybody? Hasn't your father taught you anything at all?
If I were her father, I would have had, you know, the shotgun at the door. You will, you know, you keep your distance. This is my daughter we're talking about, you know. But he had his mind on other things.
Now, you can see that this headset was designed for something much bulkier than
I felt he meant by the brain booster was this desire that we all have to know all.
I have come to the unalterable conclusion that man is unfit as yet to receive such knowledge, such almost limitless power.
There's a real cerebral villain in all of us, and that's why the movie is so powerful. It actually addresses that that truth that there is a dark side to every human being, and gone unrestrained, the monster can get real big, the monster can get real ugly. It can be a major destructive force if not brought into balance by reason and emotion. And and that's another reason why I love science fiction, because it's a safe place for us to look at ourselves.
And now, one of our favorite movies, Forbidden Planet.